issues. One is that the trash and recycling information that we have asked about has finally come through from the city. So they were up on the front, that little table if you didn't get one. And what?
Smaller containers.
Well, not to happier things. This is technically the end of the fiscal year, and next month starts the new resident council meetings. I will remain as president, and Ann will be vice president. Ann what? Pauline. Right over my head. But Ann Hammis has been our secretary for 3 years. And I don't know if you really understand how much work that is. Gail is going to take over as secretary. Gail knows how much work that is. So, I'd like an approval of the minutes from 5/29/24. Thank you. Second, I heard it, thank you. And then our opening reflection goes to Nick, who ran away. I'm sorry, Nick Campbell.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. Happy Sunday, Wednesday, right? Beautiful day outside. So just for opening reflection, I just wanted to say, kind of a big thank you to you. It's very humbling to look out into this audience and see how many friendly faces and what a loving family this is. I'm kind of celebrating my 3-month mark here. So I know it's a long time, but I have to say that, once again, it's humbling because each and every one of you have been absolutely amazing and welcoming, and once again, for that quickly, just feel like it's a big, amazing family, kind of leaves you almost speechless, right? So thank you for that. I'm excited for the meeting. This is my 3rd meeting. They've been great meetings. I'm looking forward to it. Just kind of the positivity has been amazing, and I always want to just kind of keep that going. Now, normally, I would tell you all a joke, but I'm going to save it for the end, because I think I'm the last report. So we're up 2 today. Hopefully you didn't bring your tomatoes. But we'll save them for my final report. But anyways, thank you. I hope you have a great meeting, and have a great day. Thank you.
Also, don't forget that after the meeting, we're selling tickets for the box office benefit out front. You will find Natasha and me out there after the meeting. So, invited guests. Susan WRH is our employee of the month, and Ashley. Sure.
Hi everyone, my name is Riza. Thank you for inviting me, and this is Susan. Susan is our June 2024 Employee of the Month. Susan has been with us for 11 months, and she loves it. Okay, literally, I've had a pleasure working with her. She's so helpful with our residents, our staff, especially with family members as well.
Where did she work?
Where did she work before? Susan, where did you work before?
Where did she work?
She works in Willows Arbor.
Thank you.
Yep, she works at Willows Arbor in the nursing office. She's their first shift. And one thing I can say about Susan is that she genuinely cares about our residents. She takes her time, she's very efficient, and she does a lot of great follow-up with family members. She communicates well, and she also has a great relationship with the rest of her team members. So we're very thankful to have her here, and we really appreciate all of the hard work that she does for us and for our residents and the family.
Thank you. Someone you should know. Chanel Daughtry. I know she's here. Oh, you know you don't get the high back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chanel Doherty, and I am celebrating, this is my 40th year. I look back, I think about the early days, and it seems like forever ago. But then I think about last week, and it doesn't seem like any time has passed at all. It's strange how time is. I have made so many amazing friends, met so many amazing residents. I have worked with amazing coworkers, past and present, and they have all been part of the reason that I'm still here, because I love it here. And I have enjoyed everything that I've ever done. I enjoy making a difference. I hope I make a difference. And I'm going to continue to make a difference because I'm not going anywhere. Okay.
You're not leaving just yet.
Hi, Joe. We are proud to have Joe on our team. When we celebrated, I think the whole month of June is in celebration of Joe. Happy 40th anniversary. She has worked with 4 CEOs. I'm the 4th. And Joe, we purchased this book, left it out in the front for all of our residents to sign and leave you some nice little words of wisdom, well wishes. You're not going anywhere. She's going to stay with me another 40 years, she said. Yay. And Joe, we have one more surprise for you. Drum roll, please. Yes, I can sing a little. Ta-da! Lovely Melissa Wright joining us. Happy 40th, Joe. How better to celebrate your 40th with more sweets. We welcome all of you to a slice. We're going to have Vanna White here. Take it back. Cut up in slices, and thank you again. I'm going to pass it on to your boss, Holly, here now.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to thank Joe. I have learned more from Joe than I have anybody else here. I mean, in name, I may be the manager over housekeeping, but I mean, we all know Joe really runs things for me. So I just wanted to thank her, and I'm so happy to work with her.
Thank you, everybody.
And Don Williams, usually in the back, there he is. Williams is our board member, and he's going to speak to us briefly about what he does and what he wants to do, and where he does it, and
Thank you, Carolyn. Let me give you a little bit of my background and how I got started here at Wesley Willows as a board member. Back in the early 2000s, I was the Chief Operations Officer at Rock Valley College, and I was approached at the time by one of the board members, previous board member who happens to be here today, to come onto the board of Wesley Willows. And the board voted me on in 2003, and I continued on the board for about 10 years. In the last 4 years for vice chairman and chairman of the board for the last 2 years. And left the board in 2013. After that, Dee and I moved to Wesley Willows, 2014. In fact, this is just about our 10th year, 10 years in August. We have been here. And I guess I don't remember how many years it was, but I was approached by someone else on the board from the nominating committee and asked if I would be willing to come back on the board. And I did, and I am here, and continue to be. A little bit of my involvement in the board is I'm chair of the advancement committee. It used to be called the fund development committee. I was actually chair of that committee for many years in my earlier stint with the board. A couple of accomplishments there. We have met the goal for the corporate partnership program, and it looks like we will be exceeding that goal of 120,000. Box office event, of course, is the major event that is through the Advancement Association, the Advancement Committee, and Natasha will be talking more about that later on. I'm also a member of the Personnel Committee. It's a fairly new committee. It's a committee that is chaired by Jack Crawford. Probably started that up a couple of years ago while Bill was still here. But it just to provide some board support more directly for the personnel office and also for the board in total to learn more about what goes on with the operations, a little bit more of the operations side from a personnel standpoint. I'm also chair of the facilities task force. It's called a task force, not a committee, because it's not a committee it is not a committee. It's not something that's meeting on a regular basis. We formed this task force back in, just prior to the town center and Suites 1 being built. The task force was there for that. Once that was done, it was kind of somewhat disbanded. People were still there, still part of it, but there was nothing for that task force to be doing until Suites 2 came along, and then we again turned back from that and made it more inactive. And then when Suites 3 came along, we were very active with the construction, the design and construction of Suites 3. Right now, as you I think have heard, we are looking at improvements, changes, increasing the memory care capabilities here at Wesley Willows. So this task force is now back in operation again. As we go forward with that project, we'll have the task force as kind of an overseeing and providing some guidance as they go along with that project. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Again, I'm short. In March, in your green bag was this, beware of scams. It's 2 pages. We're going to try to get it in the green bag again. It probably won't be out next week because of the holiday, but it will be in there the week after. Telemarketing scams, everyone knows someone that's had them. We had one woman on the east side who got taken for a large amount of money, but her bank backed it up. So that was good, but these people are slick talkers, and they zone in on those of us over the age of, I don't know, 40. Certainly none of us are older than that. And one of the things in here is that the United States Post Office has noticed that mail theft is on the rise. It is. It has happened here. On the east side, the night of Father's Day, a check was put in the mailbox and the flag put up. It was stolen. The bank stopped it because it didn't look right. What these people do is magic. I have no idea what it is, but they dip it in they dip the check in some sort of chemical that will take the handwriting off, so they can put in a new name, a new amount, and whatever else they want. The bank saw that this was different and refused to honor it. They have the woman's driver's license, which, by the way, you don't know if it's a real driver's license or not. And it has to be, they went to the post office, and the post office says we have to speak to the postal inspector. And the amount of the check is incidental to the amount of work it is to change all of your accounts, that's Social Security and your, anybody else that does direct deposit, anybody else that you direct pay. It is a nightmare of biblical proportions. So please be careful. We suggest that when you're mailing something with a check in it, you bring it out to Town Center or over to the Arbor. The other thing they say is to put it out just before the mail comes, as if we knew when the mail came. I don't know, we've had it come at 6 o'clock at night, so we just roll with it, but please be careful. Yes.
There also is a type of pen you can buy that defeats that strategy that they use of rinsing and writing.
I'm told there is a pen that you can buy that defeats their role of rinsing off all the writing. Do you know what that pen is?
I can't remember the name. It's a pilot. You can ask any of the Office Max or someplace like that.
Okay, we'll have to ask it off at Max, or you'll remember it and tell me, and we'll get it in the green bag.
Chances of me remembering it are
0%. Gotcha. Just like it is of me remembering.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I just thought I'd let the group know, I received an email yesterday telling me my social security had been suspended.
Good for you.
About a two-paragraph email telling me that they needed me to respond so that I could do this and that, the other thing. And I know it's old, so, but I just thought I'd let everybody know that I got that.
I can't tell you how many scams I get a day. Yes. So everybody's had an experience with this.
We can't hear.
I'm sorry. Alice had an experience with a guy on the phone that evidently figured out that he talked to her before and she was on to him.
What was the other one? What did he say?
He had an email, I'm sorry, he had an email from Social Security that said that his account was suspended and that he was to call and give them all their information. And I gotta tell you, they are slick. And if you say, I think I'll have to talk to my attorney, they say, we have attorneys on staff. You know, I mean, please be careful out there. And we all get them. Please don't fall for it. Announcements. Kirby Doyle, sorry. I have a tendency to forget last names.
I don't put my last name on there either, but I know who I am. I was here to make a quick reminder taking materials out of the box, the Prairie box. We would appreciate your reading them and putting them back. We're missing some of the things that have been put in there for everybody to share, and we'll be adding some more. And we want you to go down and read while you're there, if you can sit down on the bench. But please bring anything back that you've taken home and forgotten about, unless you've thrown it out like I do with other stuff. I'm also trying to get in touch now with Alan Brandhagen, who was wonderful on our tour of NLI's property a few weeks ago. We had a good turnout for that. And he said he'd be glad to come out here and go down in the Prairie area with us and help us identify those plants. We were trying to get some stakes made up that we can put into the ground so that we'll have a permanent record of what's growing in there. But it changes, month to month. So we'll get him out here and we'll let you know when he's coming. Thank you.
Carol Edson.
Okay, I'm Carol Edson, and I'm representing the gift shop. And I'll be really quick by telling you I have a check to give to the Good Samaritan Fund. Thanks to all the wonderful volunteers and all the wonderful people that bought flowers and cookies and cards and keep doing it. But last year we gave $4,000. This year I'm happy to say we're going to give $6,000.
She's got the check. Thank you, Carol. And thank you, Carol, for all the beautiful arrangements that you make for us to buy, because they're lovely. Gail Holtzman.
I'm Gail Holtzman, and I'm in charge of bake sales. And if it's summer, it's time for bake sales. So bake sales this year will be on Wednesdays, July 17th through September 4th. We have 2 locations. In the morning, early 9 to 11 in the north parking lot. For those of you who live on the west side, go through the stoplight at Rockton, and we're right past there on your left. Then at 11:30, the Castletown Center will have a bake sale there, so you can buy at either place. 3 ways to support the bake sale. Donate baked goods, and if you want to donate, bring them by 9 to the north parking lot. And please, if you only bake once this summer, it's a big help to us. Volunteer to man either spot once this summer, and I will be sitting outside, and you can sign up. And the last one is bye, bye, bye.
I love ice cream socials and bake sales. Man, it doesn't get any better than that, does it? Ellen Fuchs, where are you? There she is.
Hi, I'm Ellen Fuchs, and I'm coordinating the Concerts on the Creek bus transportation. I have nothing to do with the musicians, nothing to do with the church, but people had asked to have bus transportation to get over to the Concerts on the Creek. We've had some better attendance in the last few months, and so we're going to continue on doing this. This coming Saturday is going to be a great performance. Vince Chiarelli and Trinidora will have a sock hop. It will be a packed house. It will be, most of us go and enjoy it and watch the dancers who are in costume and everything else. But it's a great show, and we happen to have some seats left on the bus. So I will be here afterwards if anybody wants to sign up, because tomorrow morning I will be getting the list in to Jerry so they can arrange transportation for Saturday night. And a reminder to those people that are regulars, we're getting picked up 15 minutes earlier, so 5:30 for the homes to start the pickup and 6 o'clock from the town center. Because last month Trinidora was there, we got there at about 6:30, it was already getting full, and they were doing their sound check, and it was like an extra half hour of a concert. We just listened. In fact, they announced at about 10 to 7 that they were doing songs in their sound check that they weren't gonna be performing during the concert. So we had an extra half hour. So we're trying to get there a little bit earlier. The other things I wanna say is I hope in next week's green bag will be the 2 July ones. July 13th, Saturday night, Logan Ramsey's Elvis tribute. And on the July 20th will be River City Sound, which is like a Sweet Adeline's women's barbershop. Those are the only two I'm doing July. Brenda is really good at having information down at the desk. If there are others you can go to on your own, but those are the only two we're going to in July. Then I'm gonna piggyback on my concerts on the creek. People have been asking about Rockford University Artist Ensemble. So somebody in the audience here gave me their brochure that had been mailed to them. Can I ask for hands on how many people have gone to those in the past? Look around and see all the hands that are up. Keep them up if you would still be interested in getting a bus ride over. Fewer hands, but still enough to consider it. I'm not sure whether I'll be doing it or, but I have talked about this as a possibility for bus transportation. We would have to coordinate the evenings that everybody would get the tickets, or whether we can do it just as individual. But seeing the hands, I think I will at least pursue the information, and if you want to know more information about that, I will also be out there with the brochure on the 4 plays that are coming up this next year. Thank you very much.
Jackie Naylor. Good afternoon. First announcement. 2 weeks from today, Wednesday, July 10th at 9:30 in the morning, the auxiliary will be holding its annual meeting. Following a short business meeting at which we will elect officers and approve a budget for the coming year, Ron Holm, you remember him from Trinidora, he's the other half, he's half of that, will entertain us with a program about Roy Orbison. How many remember Roy Orbison? Yay, I knew we were in the right crowd. I knew we were. He was a musical giant who composed hundreds of songs and influenced generations of musicians. Ron will share stories about Orbison's life and, of course, sing some of his songs. And you are all invited, whether you're auxiliary or not. We'd love to have you there.
What date again?
Next, July 10th. Second announcement. Just this fiscal year, 23-24, the auxiliary has given $20,000 to the Good Samaritan Fund, $15,000 to the Good Samaritan Endowment Fund, and paid $15,000 toward the purchase of a handicapped accessible vehicle. Pretty impressive, right? This is only because of the donations and purchases of residents and staff, but so importantly, by the work of volunteers who take in, organize, and sell those donations. And more volunteers are needed. Okay, that's why I'm here, looking for volunteers again. For example, in July, the person who has overseen Timeless Treasures is retiring from that position. The auxiliary would be truly grateful if 1 or 2 people would step up to take on that responsibility. I'm sure you've read at the Green Bag the last few weeks what's involved and some of the perks. Unfortunately and sadly, if that amazing
volunteer is not found, Timeless Treasures will have to close. I don't say that. So, if you will help keep Timeless Treasures in business or volunteer with any of the auxiliaries, I'll be out there with another thing for you to sign up for. Thank you.
And Ken Limmel.
Good afternoon, everybody. Summer, garden season. Moist. We kind of got out of habit of living with good rain weather the last few years. This year we have to change our habits. We don't have to water as much. I'm here to tell you about what's going to happen midsummer into fall with regard to the excess produce that we have at the community garden. As in past several years, 2 or 3 years, we are going to alternate between having a gardener's market in the north parking lot just across Rockton and the Rock River Valley Pantry. We think it's important to give back to the community in a tangible way. And that's one of the ways that they're happy to see us coming, and we can unload what we don't need out here. The market, which is what you guys are interested in, is going to begin July 24th. So every other week from there on, August 7th, August 21, September 4, September 18, all are Wednesdays. The market is officially from 9:30 to 11. You're all looking at me seriously, so I think you're taking that announcement seriously. So don't come at 9 and expect to have business, okay? Because when we have sweet corn, you're lined up out there before 9 o'clock, before the corn is even there. We have set up this schedule in coordination with Stuart Glennie, a farmer just north of our campus here, who provides sweet corn for us every year to sell at the market. The market income is all donations except for the price of the sweet corn. That is priced. And we'll look at inflation and see what the price is going to be this year. Our donations all go to the Good Samaritan Endowment Fund. To date, we've given just under $20,000 to the Good Samaritan Endowment Fund over the life of our community garden. The schedule for all this is going to be in your green bags come mid-July. And then there's going to be bi-weekly reminders about the market so that you keep that straight, which week that is for, so people don't show up when we're going to the pantry. Any questions? Any weed pullers? Didn't think so. Thank you.
Thank you. There was something, but I'll have to think of it again. For new residents, Joella, right, Mary Griffith is introducing Susan Reins.
It's my pleasure to introduce Susan Reins, who resides at 4061 Albright. Some of you may recognize Sue from Rockford Memorial, where she worked for 44 years in a variety of areas, with surgery and the pain center being her favorites. She was married to her husband Phil for 31 years until he unexpectedly passed away this last December, which prompted her to move to Wesley Willows. Following their retirement in 2014, she and Phil moved to a home situated on 10 acres of woods in the mountains, a mile from the main road from their mailbox, by the way. They lived 8 miles from Clark Fork, Idaho, big population of 200 people, and 40 miles from the nearest larger town, including the nearest rural grocery store. The average snowfall there was 125 inches per year. So Sue got lots of exercise snowboarding. As you can imagine, they enjoyed fishing, wildlife watching, and camping. They burned wood for heat, cutting down about 20 trees per year. Sue says she enjoyed that activity and she misses her hatchet and her axe. They've been involved in both national and local veterans events, go-karting, and enjoyed traveling frequently to Washington, D.C. Susan was Phil's assistant in restoring muscle cars. More souped up, the better. She commented she could take a carburetor apart, but don't ask her to put it back together. She's excited to return to this area and to be with friends again. She's looking forward to being involved in activities here at Wesley Willows and exploring some new hobbies. Please give a warm Wesley Willows welcome to Susan Wrights.
Susan was told that she'd have to sing and dance up here. I guess she didn't do that. And next, Nancy Woolley is going to introduce Barb Brown. Is that right?
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure today to introduce you to someone that some of the residents here today will remember. Her name is Barbara Brown. When I first saw her several years ago, she was seated in the corner of the bistro with books and papers on a table before her. The person I was sitting with told me that she was studying Hebrew. Now that's an interesting venture, I thought, because I knew from my own experience Hebrew is a very difficult language. I was told later she had moved from her duplex on Durham to Peterson Meadows, where she resided for the last 6 years. Well, Barbara has recently returned to the Wesley Willows campus to live in Suite 3, and I am very pleased to introduce and/or reintroduce her to our residents today. Barbara was born in Evanston, Illinois. During her youth, her family moved to other cities around the country. She graduated from high school in Abingdon, Pennsylvania, and earned her undergraduate degree from Rockford College, where she majored in psychology and child development. In the ensuing years, Barbara continued her studies at a number of institutions with much focus on library science, biblical interpretation, and pastoral ministry. She received a PhD from Northern Illinois University. And if I could read my writing, I'd tell you the rest of it. Her PhD was in the areas of counseling and administration. Yes, thank you. I had penciled that in. I couldn't read it. She attended a Universalist institution and by laying on of hands was ordained as a rabbi, which is the Hebrew word for teacher. As a rabbi, she has led small groups of students in a pastoral and teaching role, and is still active in the, Barbara moved to Rockford in 2007, worked in the secular world as a school librarian, and is still active as a legal consultant in the area. To this day, Barbara, now retired, is still studying and continuing, particularly in her passion to write. I'd like to share a little information about her children's books. She has written and published 4. We talked about them. One is called Watch Out for Wanda, which was instructing children how to cross the street. Buddy Waits, about a boy waiting for his mother who is in Afghanistan. You Are Good, instructing children how to treat and react to little emergencies positively. And Privacy is an Illusion, short stories about a tree spirit. She has also published a book of sermons. Israel in 2007 and 2017, but she has also traveled in Europe and all around the country. Her favorite travel adventure occurred when she and other students at NIU spent $50 each and spent a whole month traveling all over the western United States on a Greyhound bus. Can you imagine that today? Once she has finished settling in her apartment, Barbara plans to participate in aquatic and cardio drumming activities in the fitness center. And she will continue, in her own words, to write. She is working on yet another book. Barbara has led a remarkable life, so much of it dedicated to the study and interpretation of God's Word, her Jewish faith, and her love of humankind, particularly children. For many years, she has worked for the betterment of the Rockford community. If I had only one word to describe her to you, it would be the word humanitarian. Please join me now in welcoming our neighbor Barbara.
Thank you. Administration. We're having a little change up this week, and Frances will go first because she's got a meeting. Can you imagine her having a meeting? So, here's our president, CEO, Frances.
Thank you, Carolyn, and congratulations to everyone on your appointments, on your resident council, all the new resident council members, effective July 1st. I am Frances Salinas. All of you know me by now, right? I know Barbara, you know me. Peterson Meadows, she's my buddy over there. Welcome. I want to start off by saying thank you to a few individuals. I want to thank Don Williams, our board member. I've said this before. Our board members volunteer their time on our board, and I'm very grateful to have Don with me, especially as we continue our strategic planning for our Arbor and Healthcare Center, introducing memory care. I'm very grateful to have him on our committee. So thank you, Don. I also want to thank all the volunteers. I actually received a check today for $6,000. Thank you, Carol. I want to thank the gift shop, the baking group, I look forward to that, our auxiliary, Jackie, thank you, and our garden club overseen by Ken Lemmel. Thank you all for what you do. I know you are so generous to Wesley Willows and our Good Samaritan Fund. Thank you. Much appreciated. Last thank you. Thank you to all of you who came out and supported me at the Beloit Sky Carp baseball game. I made it. It was a strike. And I also want to thank Jonelle for her 40 years of service. We are very grateful to you, Jo. Did she leave already? She went, oh, she's still here. We have cake for you. You can't go yet. Now I'm going to go on to the vacancy report. Our sales team has been quite busy. Our East Side homes, we had 5 available, but all 5 are on hold and have been sold. West Side, we have 10 available and 4 of them are on hold. For suites, we have 13 available, 2 are on hold, and we do have a marketing plan for that. Suites 2, we have 9 available. Suites 3, we only have 2 available. So good occupancy there. Arbor, 33 apartments and 4 are on hold. So the team's doing a nice job. Overall, we are at 88% occupied. And I know we have Nick coming up here to give his report. He's going to go last now, so we kind of switched. And he'll be sharing the great news of the census development over there. So I won't steal your thunder. I also want to inform all of you of the Rockford Country Club golf outing. If you remember, I set up a special arrangement with the Rockford Country Club. Remember, Perry? You were there. And we're having another, we're going to have these flyers go out in the green bag. Thank you, Katie, for setting that up. You should receive one of these in the next green bag, I was told. If you're interested, please sign up. Our next outing is Wednesday, July 24th at 9 a.m. Rain or sunshine? I'm kidding. If it rains, it'll be rescheduled. And it'd be $60 per person. Lastly, I want to wish all of you a happy 4th of July. Enjoy. It's already next week. I can't believe it's going to be July, and the beginning of July is the beginning of our new fiscal year. So Brett's going to share a few items on that later. That's all I have. I would say I'd stick around, but I do have a meeting I have to get to. Thank you for allowing me to go first. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Yes, thank you. There is a question.
I've been noticing on the Wesley Willows site on the internet, the wonderful drone photos. Is that Phil Myers?
Thank you. Yes, where's Phil? I saw Phil in here. Thank you, Phil. Did you hear Dorothy's response? Yes, that was. So those of you who have the time, opportunity, go on our website. I have to thank Joe, Photo Joe, and the marketing team for updating our website, as well as Phil Myers. Phil, I went on the website. That's pretty cool. Thank you for that. I think you're right. I appreciate you bringing that up. It does highlight our campus very nicely. Any other questions for me? No? Have a great week. Bye. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Natasha McNeil, and I'm the Fund Development Coordinator here at Wesley Willows. Today I stand before you as a reminder about our event that's been a cornerstone of our community for more than 5 decades, the annual box office benefit. Just to put things in perspective, this event has been in existence since bell bottoms were in fashion the first time around. But anyway, our annual fundraising event is just around the corner, August 4th, and I want to make sure we clear up any misconceptions. Although the event will be held on a Sunday, transportation will be available, and information will be in the next greenback. All activities will be held on the Rock Valley College campus, and I'll circle back to this point later on in my little speech. You can also purchase tickets in a number of ways, and we want to make sure that we cover all of our bases. So if you enjoy technology, you can do so through the Wesley Willows website. If you're more old school, you can mail in your registration and payment. But if you would prefer a more direct approach, you can leave your reply card and payment with guest services. You can stop by my office. I'd love to see each and every one of you. I'm at the basement in the arbor across the street. Or you can stop by the registration table, which was already noted after today's meeting. Just to let you know a little more about the event, our event will kick off with an open house, which will be indoors. I will emphasize that again, indoors, so it will be nice and cool. It will be in the Student Center, and you'll have the opportunity to explore. You'll be able to mingle with your friends, make some new friends as well. We'll also have an array of chef-prepared appetizers that will be available, and action stations, and a specialty mimosa bar. But wait, there's more. During our pre-show activities, you'll have the opportunity to meet with the performers, purchase some items from the concession stand, which I'm very excited about, and purchase raffle tickets. And then for the highlight of the day, the performance of Disney's Newsies. It's a tale of courage, friendship, and a lot of catchy tunes that will have you tapping your feet and humming away. I do want to end off today by saying that this is not just another event. It's all of our event. It is an opportunity for us to come together, celebrate our community spirit, and support a cause that benefits everyone in this room. You've heard several times today about the Good Samaritan Fund, and I believe it's one of the greatest things that makes this community such a wonderful place. So after all this, if you're not able to attend, please consider making a donation. Continue to spread the word, invite your friends and family, and get ready for an unforgettable day. Let's make this year's event the best one ever. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here today to provide some maintenance updates and a couple reports. So we had work orders for the month of May, quite a few again. We've been reporting these every month. Our totals are staying pretty consistent, 1,200, 1,300, so we're just under 1,400 work orders in the month of May, so lots happening once again. 977 of those were mostly resident requests, right? So that's what we're focusing on as far as our response time. Out of those 977, 709 of those were completed in one day, and then another 93 in that 1 to 3 days. So 73% of those were completed same day, which that's really good. And 82 were completed, 82% were completed in that 1 to 3. So again, those numbers are pretty good, but you know, if we put you off or we haven't gotten to your request and you need it done right away, feel free to give us a shout and we'll make sure we get it on top of the list. So we've had some seal coating happening the last couple of weeks, and I think the garden group talked about the rain and delays and all that stuff that, you know, comes with it. So I appreciate everybody's patience with that. We did have a couple pushbacks with the town center outer parking lot, but we were able to get that completed last weekend, and then along with the upper Embry Road area along the garages of the Arbor. So again, appreciate the patience and kind of the redirecting traffic. I know that's a little bit of a challenge sometimes, but I think it went somewhat smoothly. Everybody received the flyer for the totes. So that came up here at Resident Council a couple months back, and that's the information that the city put out when they delivered the totes, and then we didn't get the information, but we got the totes. Everybody knows how that worked. There really hasn't been any more progress on any of that. You know, we continue to be told that the smaller containers are not an option. We're kind of at a standstill. But I hear the mayor's coming somewhere on campus next week. Yeah.
Are people
Feel free
from
to.
this area invited to the Arbor for that meeting? Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Probably not.
It's done.
Here in August.
Oh, okay, perfect. Katie says the mayor will be here in August, so let's fill the room. Okay? And ask those tough questions I've been asking all along, so. Lastly, I just had some landscaping updates, you know, again with the rain, that has continued to push those outdoor projects back a little bit. I know we gained a bunch of ground here in the last few weeks on those resident requested type landscaping projects through Crimson Valley or Manny's. So again, if you've been waiting a while, give me a shout, but if you've requested it, it's on my list and we've got it on our radar. And then they've started the pruning on the east campus, so that's underway, and they're heading to the west campus here over the next couple of weeks, so pruning is underway. Go ahead.
Is that all of the paving that you're going to do? Are you gonna go down Embury to the other side you did last year?
Question was, is that all the paving we're gonna do? No, we have the upper Embry reconstruction project slated for probably September or August. We don't have exact dates for that yet, but from upper Embry, the stop sign to Cokesbury will be replaced late summer, early fall. So we're gonna continue to do some seal coating on campus. We're just working on a plan, you know, for, you know, driveways and roads and things like that. So we just really gotta kind of, it's a big campus, so we're getting caught up on that.
There were traffic directions, and I see that there's 15-minute parking in front of the both east side and west side big buildings, but there's no sign that says 15-minute parking in the circle.
Right, so there's no sign in the 15-minute parking in the front entrance of each building, so I know that we did the curb painting, that's new, right? So that, I think we're gonna kind of see how that goes, if that helps with the issue. Does that answer your question, Mike?
Well, I was wondering if you were going to put signs that indicate the direction.
Not yet. Let's see how the painting goes and see if that helps. I think there's one more.
I was just curious if your 1,400 plus maintenance orders entered, that difference of requests, was that 500 due to preventive maintenance?
Yeah.
Those that you,
So the question was the difference in the numbers from the work orders created to the resident number. Those are our routine work orders, so things, you'd be surprised how much garbage maintenance touches on campus. Things that they just do every day as a routine. That's that group kind of consolidated.
I'd like to see crosswalks painted all the way from one end to the other end of Embury in particular, also John's Farm.
So the comment was crosswalks on Embry and John's Farm. So are you talking Embry on the east campus, west campus?
West campus in particular, but east as well. I think it would help slow the traffic down.
Okay, we can review that and look at that. That would be something we would want to, tie into our ceiling, our road ceiling, so we can look at that. Oh, okay.
With Rod's cleaning in phase 1, sewers clogged up.
There's an issue with the drain in phase 1. We looked at that this week, so we're coming up with a game plan for that.
Cleaning?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And cleaning. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Brett Nelson, I'm the Chief Financial Officer here, for those of you who don't know me. I do have a couple of quick notes, kind of generated from the topic here. Thanks, appreciate that everybody's looking at their cybersecurity, those malicious phone calls, emails. If you don't know the number that's calling in, don't answer. If it's important, they'll leave you a message. If you don't know the person on the message, don't call them back. Ray Duncan, our IT director, does a monthly IT presentation. On August 1st, she's doing one specifically about cybersecurity and other phishing threats. I'd encourage everybody who has questions or curiosities about it to attend that or reach out to Ray in the meantime. We're always here to help for that. She does these every month, different topic every month. It's the first Thursday. She's nodding yes. And it's right here at Auditorium 8. Secondly, again with Ray, she had the question of the fiber optic cable that was announced to be installed in Rockford. She reached out to the mayor and, sorry Brandon, he replied to her. And the city has contracted with a company called Sci-Fi, S-I-F-I, who will be utilizing T-Mobile to lay fiber cabling for every home, business, and organization in the city. It's a 5-year plan. It started last year in 2023. He has no idea when we are going to be on the schedule and no further information for that. But as soon as we know anything, we will let everybody know. All right. Now to the rate increase letter that I sent out earlier this month. Just kind of wanted to talk about how we got to that number. We had a lot of strategies for our budget for fiscal 25. Two of them I'm going to share here. Number one is, as a not-for-profit company, we present a break-even operating budget, which means revenues equal expenses. Every dollar made is spent. The second goal was to lower the rate increase from the past 2 years. So if you've been here for a couple of years, you know that rate increase was 4.9%. For this fiscal 25, we did come in at 3.9%. So, progress. Kind of said the inflation word earlier, so I'm not the first one to bring it up. It's allegedly stabilizing. However, 3 things that still continue to impact are labor, food, and energy. Top 3 things that we use here are labor, food, and energy. So we're still seeing increased costs across the board, including our insurance and property taxes, which they never go down. The minimum wage is going up to $15 on January 1st of 2025 as part of the 5-year plan that Governor Pritzker enacted in 2020, when the minimum wage was $9.25. That's a 62% increase. So that's significant. And what it's done is when you raise the floor, it pushes everything else up too. So not only here at Wesley Willows, we have to pay more to get good talent, but all of the services that we contract out for have to pay more to get good talent, so they have to charge us more, and just the snowball effect here. So, we've had a lot of success in this fiscal year of doing more things in-house, like our contracted services or the line items we have is down considerably. So we've got more staff, we have more painters doing the painting in-house instead of calling somebody to do painting, for example, there. Now, for next year, no promises that the rate's going to keep going down. There will be an increase every year, but we are committed to have, operational excellence here, staffing efficiently without cutting any services, without cutting any staff. We're adding more people. We're just being more conscious of how we're scheduling things and how we'll be more efficient across the board. And bringing in more residents. That always helps, so tell your friends. The second person fee also saw an increase this year. I was doing my homework on that as we were getting into the budget season, and for the homes residents, the last time that was increased was never, 2006, so basically never. So that's been the same rate since 18 years ago. 2011 is when the suites second person fee last had a change. I don't plan on changing the fee every single year. It did need a little bit of an adjustment though. That's all I really have, unless there's questions. Uh-oh.
In the scamming thing, I would like to remind people that the do not call list is still in effect.
Should we like to remind everyone that the do not call registry is still in effect, and
You can go online and check if your number is there.
go online and check to see if your number is on it.
It's not necessarily going to stop anything, but it might help.
Yes. Anyone else? Wow, okay. You're up, Nick.
All right, hello everyone. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've been up here, but we'll go ahead and keep going. The thing that Brett said that I really appreciated was the term, operational efficiency. And I know I was standing up here before, giving a, opening statement, and I was very appreciative and said I've been here 3 months. So you might be saying to yourself, well, what has Nick been doing for the last 3 months? Besides telling amazing jokes, what has he been doing for the last 3 months, right? So my focus obviously was coming in to get to know all of you, get to know this campus, which is going to take time, of course. But the healthcare center is really where I've been focused the most for the last 90 days. And once again, I appreciate Brett's term of operational efficiency. And what my main goal is, I really wanted to make sure that we're being efficient as possible, providing the best services possible to our residents who are in that healthcare center, and how do we move forward in a great manner, right? And the first thing I want to do is, I'm not sure if you can see most of them, and a lot of them aren't here, but there's an amazing team sitting behind you of staff at Wesley Willows, and I'm seeing some key faces, and pretty much everyone back there has been a huge part of that operational efficiency, and we could not have done what we've done in the last 90 days without that team. So I am grateful every single day for that team, and they're here serving all of you, and I appreciate them, so thank you for that. With that being said, I kind of wanted to hit some highlights on that, right? And I know Francis had given, kind of a census report, and I kind of wanted to say the same thing about the healthcare center, and the arbors. The team's been working really hard. We've made some huge improvements, and we've kind of given some sneak peeks on those improvements down in the healthcare center. Everything from fresh paint to offices to just kind of, like I said, operational efficiency. And I can probably say that we've doubled our census in the healthcare center. And that's a good thing and an okay thing, right? Because we naturally don't necessarily want to improve our census because that means someone's having needs some rehab. But if they need that rehab, we want to be the provider for that. We want to give the best service possible. So we're proud to say that we've doubled our census. It's a very busy place, moving 100 miles an hour, and that's a great thing, and we're really proud of that. So naturally, as I keep saying, we encourage you to come check it out. We'd love to tour you, we'd love to show you what we've done, and we're really proud of it. And please come on down if you have an opportunity to do that. So with that being said, does anybody have any questions? Because I'll summarize it all up with an attempt at a good joke. No questions? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Are there plans to move up to the first floor?
Yes. The question is, are there plans to move up to the first floor? And absolutely. So to add to that as well, we're currently working on, I'm kind of looking at some of the team members back there, we're working on Hunt Terrace first floor as well. We're getting that open again. We have in a couple of weeks, we'll get some residents moved back into Hunt Terrace first floor. We're moving up to the next floor, so Harbor Lights, E-Wing, Kirk's Place. We're kind of, once again, we have plans for some little facelift on that and building census and growing and operational efficiency. So, I think great question, thank you. Anything else? Okay, with that being said. Oh, yes.
I have a question about the mail delivery and specifically, I don't know.
I we didn't know too much about that, so let's chat offline and we'll see if we can get you an answer for that, okay? Thank you. Okay, so, who won the neck decorating contest? It was a tie. All right, one more, have your tomatoes ready. And this one I picked specifically for this audience. I was trying to write, did you guys know that I was trying to write a joke about retirement? Yeah, it didn't work. Thank you very much.
Again, I'm sure. Thank you all very much. I'd like to have a motion for adjournment. Oh, I'm so glad you did that. And our next meeting will be July 31st, and I wrote on my list 29/24. I think we'll go with 20/24. At 3 p.m. Thank you all very much.